Hear me out. I have a thought. What if Martin Luther King's dream has become a nightmare for the Black community? What if integration is the problem, part of the problem? Because it can't be the whole problem. We have cultural issues within our own culture, but imagine if we would have taken the same approach to the pale faces as other communities do, in that they still maintain their own culture as a whole. Like you can clearly define an Asian person that acts white, a Mexican person that acts white, a whitewashed person of any race, right? You can easily identify those in other races, but for some reason, because Black people have done all this work to be considered Americans, legally, not in any other sense, other than the fact that they will go fight for this country, not realizing that the values that this country is fighting for does not serve them. But that's a whole other issue. If we would have decided to just keep in our own communities instead of trying to one up one another, deciding that their standards were better than ours, where would we be? Where would we be if we decided, instead of we want to go eat at the white restaurant, that we want to learn how to make food better than them and have our own restaurants be better? Like, what if we would have gone the route of staying within our own communities just like all of the other ones do? And that's not racist to say that. Again, that is what the other communities do. They have their own thing. Our culture as we know it today was fed to us through television and movies and music. It was fed to us. Our culture does not exist. Like, I have these conversations with other Black people all the time. Who told you Black culture is this or that? Where'd you learn it? Probably a movie, probably a TV show, probably some Black celebrity. All of our culture has been fed to us. Not even by white people, actually. It's been fed to us by the people who own the media, and we all know which group that is. And if you don't know which group that is, then I need you to look at the groups where you can't say anything about them. That's who own the media. That's pretty, straightforward in and of itself, right? If you can't say anything about it without being accosted in the media, then they're the ones that own it, right? Like, you can't come in my mom's house and talk crap about her, or me and my siblings are gonna jump on you, and that's what they do. And I just wonder, what if we had not embraced MLK's dream? What if we would have embraced Malcolm X's? Where would we be? Where would we be? How much further along would we be? If we would have kept trying with programs and initiatives like the Black Panther Party, where would we be? Having more organizations like that, where would we be? Instead of having pointless organizations like the NAACP. I see no point of those groups. None. The Masonic temples, the Mooses, the Elks, the Northern Star, they don't do nothing. The Black church, as much as they could do, they don't. And there's a reason why, right? But how much better would we be if a group of people did not decide that MLK's dream was going to be our reality? You know, how much further along would we be? Where would we be at? Because we were a threat, right? And I took, back in college, it was really frustrating taking an African American studies class, right? Because you're just sitting in this class and you're learning all these things that this government did to keep your people down. And it's like, you don't want to hate white people because that's where it's coming from, right? You don't want to hate white people, but like, how can you support I feel like people who understand the history of this nation would not support Democrats ever. Like, no Black person who understands the history of this nation they would not vote. I mean, they really wouldn't vote at all, but they definitely would not vote Democrat. And it just like, I think about it all the time. Where would we be if we decided, just like the Asian community does, just like the Indian community does, just like certain Latino communities do, that they're going to keep their money and their sons and daughters within their own community. And they're going to maintain their values. And if you decide to go out of that, you can, but you have whatever partner you bring, they have to come into our community and they have to go by our rules. It's not going to be the other way around. I just feel like integration was the worst thing for us. I really do. And I can't be unconvinced of this. And again, it's not from a perspective of racism, but like, if Black men would not have accepted that, or even if Black men would not have accepted the lie that the white woman was better than the Black woman, there would not be rap where men are referring to us as bitches and hoes. It wouldn't be a thing. They will respect us. Just like you can't come on no Asian. You can't go in an Asian country and talk about their women as bitches and hoes. You can do your song, but they see your song as you rapping to your own people. They don't see their women as bitches and hoes. Except like the gangster Asians, which that's a whole other, again, not really part of the community. But I really wonder if we would have decided that if we wouldn't have decided that their lies were truth, where would we be? Because MLK's dream is a nightmare every day for me personally. I see, and I don't know how other Black people don't see this, but like, these droves of people coming in this country, if you are a low income, Section 8 using, food stamp using Black person, I hope you know that these immigrants are coming to take your stuff, your Section 8, your government subsidized housing, your help, right? Because the government sees them as needing the help more than you do. So, if we would have just stayed with one another and held each other up, where would we be? Certainly not here.